Hello, hello, hello. I haven't seen you for ages. I haven't been on my channel. I've been really busy, so apologies about that. But I'm coming with all those goodies. And these are not new. I'm going to admit I haven't bought them recently. It's just a collection that's been waiting for me to show you because I really wanted to share those pastels. These are soft pastels I have accumulated over time. All right, where do we start? Let's put the papers separately and pastel sets separately. I kind of divide into a couple of different groups. So these going to be separate group and the pencil is going to be separate group. So let me just show you what I've been doing over time. This is my sketchbook, and with time I have been, what's in here? So for example, this is pastel paper and pastel pencils. And this is a special paper, unfortunately the most expensive. It cost a fortune, guys, even just A5. So I always been put off working with this one, but we're going to come back to it in a minute. I just wanted to show you that I've been testing different techniques, different kind of looks. So here was a selection of different watercolors, watercolor pencils, also Faber-Castell Pit pastel pencils finished with white. And I said, I love it. These were color pencils, I believe, and we're gonna get, oh god, that's horrendous. And this is my kind of testing different papers, different type of soft pastels, the big ones, and those pencil types, and how they work with each other, because this is such a crazy, the way they work is always different effects. So here, this is just, this copied each other. Another thing, guys, is pastels are extremely messy. Once you get to work with them and you got the gist, how they blend, it's a bit like painting. You can really blend colors and things and get detail with those pencils. It's super satisfying, but unfortunately the really big down thing about it is that they are very messy, and once you finish working you need to kind of preserve it. There are special sprays, but I heard so many horror stories. Some people said, oh, don't spray it. Some people said, don't spray it with fixative because it will ruin the colors and everything. So I'm not too precious at this point about my work. It's just hobby, to be honest. But if I was doing something like this on a professional level, that would really stress me out, and I'll have to have that sorted out. But it is fun to once you get hang of something you like, it's good. So here we have a Strathmore paper, tone grey. Have I got it here? I should do. It is basically like grey tone. You also can get tan color. I don't have this paper here, I'm afraid. I don't think I have. It must be somewhere in the big cupboard. Anyways, it's not the one I usually use, so not to worry, because it doesn't have a very good coverage. The thing is, with pastels you have to have the surface which is a bit like the more like a sanding paper it is, the better adhesion it's gonna have. Those little loose powder-like elements will stick better into pores of the paper. But if you have something very smooth, it will not work. If you take just a copier paper, it will not work. So this one, for example, it feels a little bit like a nail file or things you're sanding off walls with. And this is Pastelmat from Clairefontaine. That's the one I was talking about earlier. And I think they have different versions. This is number 1. It is amazing. And I've seen people creating amazing, realistic drawings, paintings, whatever you want to call it. I think I did this one for my backdrop. I sold it as a backdrop. Whoops. This is just like a little drawing, but you can get extremely realistic, lots of pet portraits are made like that. What else have I got here? Nothing that exciting really. It was just lots of experiments with different types of paper. Oh, I think this might be a pastel mat. Like I said, it's so messy, and this was turned into backdrop as well for newborns, for babies, and it was okay to work with. But again, every time I use it, I think, oh my god, this is so expensive, and it comes up like £1 a page or something like this. So yeah, it's too much just to doodle on it for me, for my personal, idea. I still have a few pages left. I'm not sure if I have any more of that one, but eventually I'm gonna probably not use that one. I'm not that into realism anyway. So that was one of the type, and like you can see, it's sticking really well. But if you want to blend things, mix things, it's not that good, because with mixing soft pastels, you can use your finger, or you can use like a little, it looks like a kind of cotton bud thing. You can do that, and yeah, that just doesn't shift too much, because once it's stuck to this rigid one, it doesn't want to budge. But it's a different story. You got two different papers here. This is lovely paint on a multi-technique from Clairefontaine, which is this one, and I absolutely adore this paper. Not necessarily for pastels, and again I was kind of testing here. It doesn't blend very well, so again it has that rigid feeling. Oh, I did something here, not sure what was it with. You can see there is a little bit of, I think, watercolor. It takes watercolor really nicely. Things like you can see here, inks, any kind of mixed media, it does work really well. But when it comes to, oh, even here you see, pastels, maybe those pencil type, but not the main ones. You see, it's very choppy. I was trying to make a background here. I was blending and it just looks really clunky. It doesn't work that well, this paper, in my opinion. You might have a different opinion. So this one's not that great, and you can see here it doesn't work as well as I would like this to work. Have we got more? Okay. And this paper is Daler Rowney Murano. This is that paper. Oh yeah, look guys, I still have quite a few large size of those Pastelmat. Oh, I might actually do like a realistic paint portrait with that, because I've been lately learning how to do human faces. But that might be a little while before I get brave with it. Oh yeah, that's it. And this is a paper I really enjoy shifting and moving. It has this kind of like a honeycomb texture. I don't know if you can see. A bit like a canvas, but reversed. And it comes in different shades. And it's good to have that, because I'm not sure about that green. It's a bit like pre-painted canvas for you, so you don't have to worry. And yeah, it's easier to draw on it. So these are my tests on it, and it does blend quite well. These are the Rembrandts, the chunky ones, and then the pencils over. I've seen how it reacts with different types as well. And then we're going to move to the last one, probably my favorite, and this is Canson Mi-Tientes. Forgive me, I am not a French-speaking person. This is cotton paper, and again, it comes in 5 different shades. Nice size. I like to cut it half and have like a A5. And I did some different drawings on that one. And it's quite nice to blend, but there is a limit how much it will take. It's not going to be like forever. But you can see that you can layer the main ones chunky, and then go with a pencil with details. So that works. I think that's the paper, yes. because it's all mixed up now. I think, oh my gosh, if I'm actually showing you the right one. So it has a nice different earthy tones, which I love. That is really nice, the light one. And look, I'm only touching it and it's already making the mess. So you have to be not as precious, perhaps. Oh, I can't. That was actually a nice drawing. Shame I cut it up. Never mind. Never mind. There's place for more better paintings. So this is lovely paper and it's not that expensive. It's definitely not as expensive as the matte one. That's craziness. So I would definitely recommend doing that with different type of, if you have different type of pastels, to do that. And I'll explain in a minute what I mean, the chunky and the pencils. Let me just see if I have any drawings or paintings here to show at all. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, that was a backdrop I painted. So I would paint that and I scanned it. Yeah, that was on this Canson one. And I scanned it and then I would put it on in my shop. That's another one. These were just tests with that grey tone one. And I have to say, it does good job with the pencils. It does nicely work. Yeah, look, this is the grey tone one, and the detail you have with the pastels and pencils are pretty good. I do like that. I actually managed to scan it and put it many times in, and I created quite nice surface pattern with that one. I have no idea how much details you can guys see on here, but this one has a really nice soft detail. And confession time, these were made with pan pastels. So these are, I haven't got them here with me. I wanted to make a separate episode about that, separate video. Basically, they're a little bit like, you know, eyeshadow for makeup. They're a little bit like that. I got that consistency of like a powder, and then you got different tools, you've got different way to applying it, blending. So they get very soft, and you can blend, you can make those changes very, very subtle with pan pastels. And here again, you actually can use sponge or use sponge on that in that technique. So trying different ways, like a bit like a shadow, it's like a very whispery type. That was as well. It was just lots of trials. And again, some of that paper, no, I don't think that was expensive. That was an expensive one. It's like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like, it doesn't feel right testing. That was a really lovely. I forgot all about that. I don't think it's in my Etsy shop. I need to relist that. It's a lovely one. Yeah. And that was on my grey toned one. The, what is it called? Strathmore paper grey. And that's nice because you can straight away apply highlights as well. And that's the unlucky little fox unfinished on Pastelmat. So these are the papers, and papers are extremely important when it comes to pastels. I would definitely recommend getting familiar. Just looking if anything else is here that is important to show. Oh my god, how cute are these. Oh, I did that recently. I was going to share with you those inks. That's going to be next thing on the list. I promise. I've got so many things to do, but I just want to do them right, and the perfectionist wins, and I'm not ending up not doing anything. So I'm sorry. So this is the first set I bought. It's called Rembrandt. It's a nice decent set of pastels, and look how many colors. It's really impressive. But yeah, nice size as well, so you can work with them. You can work kind of sideways, or you can more to the point. They are quite chunky still. You're not going to get a super duper detail when it comes to pastels. They are a little bit harder than anything else, but quality is lovely and they blend really nicely. It's just it's like having a lovely box of chocolates. Yeah. and they blend really well with the pencils as well. Nice box, sturdy box. Where here is cheaper company, which is Kohinoor, and this is collection of 48. I think the other one might, oh, no, I'm sorry, the Rembrandt set has 120 half length pastels, so you got more colors and they're smaller. With these one, with Kohinoor, the box is more flimsy. It feels like a cheap kind of sweet, sweets box, what you call it when you give it for gift. Chocolate box, something like that. And these are full size. And again, even if they're full size, you can break them, so it's easier for you to work with them if you want to create kind of drawing with half. And these are much softer. I think the colors are more vibrant as well. And selection of colors is really good because you have cool tones, you have warm tones, you have beautiful colors, different shades of kind of earthy. Look how many different browns you have, different color of yellows, different temperatures. Really well designed set, I would say. And these are much softer. So I would definitely recommend. And these are not that expensive, guys. These are comparing to other pastel sets. And if you start shopping, oh my God, the sky's the limit with pastels. You can get pastel sets worth thousands. It's insane. The certain brands, I don't know who buys them, but not me. And that was the very first set I bought, actually, even before Rembrandt. I just want to see if it's for me, drawing and with pastels. And when I first got them, they are really, I'm even scared to say that because it gives me shivers, like a chalk on a board kind of feeling. Oh, really hard. But recently I started using them again, and they're not as bad as I remembered them to be. So again, it depends on the paper that you're using. So color selection, really limiting. It's 24 colors, so you can't really expect too much from it. But those two purples are so similar. This color blue is horrible. They could give like a different shades, different colors. It's definitely not a professional grade, I would say. It's more for kids maybe, or people like just starting out. So I wouldn't say that's a great set. It comes with this little booklet, which I have to say it's really good and informative and tells you what you can do with the techniques. It gives you tips. You can sharpen it with a little knife. You can use that powder to kind of smudge it. You can use the putty, like an eraser, special eraser. Talks about fixative. So it is good for if you want to just dip your toes. And obviously it's not very expensive. This one I bought in TK Maxx for a grand total of £6, £5.99. So the price was definitely very appealing, basically. Oh, what am I doing? Seriously, I can just do it later. Let's not worry about that. Let me tell you about this one. So these are a bit like a lookalikes of very expensive, very soft, very beautiful. They like poetry. Senneliers. Sennelier is a French company that makes stunning, probably the best pastels in the world. And these are a little bit like a copycats from Jackson's. If you know the Jackson's shop, the art shop, you can buy single color, and I did. You can buy single color, you can buy them in 3 or a few more, whatever. But it's wonderful because you can just kind of make your own set. And this is the color I absolutely had to have because I do skies with that one. It works. So it's nice, but if you have your set already, you kind of have to remember you have that as well. So think about logistics, how you're going to work out your space. Now let me talk about pencils, because these are Pitt pastel pencil. Look, it's just impossible to stay tidy with them. And these are, how many? 36 of them. The best way to sharpen them is with a little knife, rather than with a mechanical or whatever sharpener. That's the best way. You can get the best point and behave in the best way. Lovely selection of colors. I wonder how much you can see. I think you can see fine. Cool. Just checking. And again, these are Faber-Castell. I am very loyal to this brand. I'm not getting any royalties from them. Please don't think I'm getting paid or sponsored in any way. No way. I'm only a tiny little fish in the sea of YouTube, and they do go quite quickly. You can quite quickly go through them. It's easy to break them. Unfortunately, they're quite delicate, and when they break, you think, oh, I'm sharpening them, and it's all of a sudden that much is gone. So you jump quite quickly and you can get rid of them. They're not the cheapest, but they last a little time. They're not going to be done tomorrow. It really depends what you're drawing and how much you're drawing. Because if you're doing large A3 size, you're going to burn through them like there's no tomorrow, especially if you only draw with them. There are special techniques that people combine. So, for example, you can first line the layer of pan pastels, like a powder one, like a makeup powder that I mentioned earlier, that are like really, really dreamy and very thin layer, and they last for a long time. You can use them, and where these are more like for finishing touches or for very defined bits, I wouldn't do like the whole skin maybe with it. I would rather do with the pan pastels, but I'm not really specialist on realism. I much prefer doing nature and kind of things like that. So these are really nice. They react quite well with other ones. And again, I would highly suggest making like a little testers, because there's nothing more frustrating when you start drawing, you're painting, you're drawing, and all of a sudden you see, oh, this doesn't even want to take, it just slips off. So it's good for you to have a go and try what works with what. Rembrandt, it was one of my first sets. It's very short now, some of them. Look at that green, it's like a baby. And these are really nice pencils. So for example, the Rembrandt works super nicely with this one. Actually, both of them work really nicely with this one because it's quite soft, and these are much harder when you apply them. So I would definitely recommend these, and these are cheap. So that's a nice cheap set. Faber-Castell is a little bit more pricey. I'm not sure how much they cost at the moment. There's no point me telling you now the prices, because they might change over time. So this is smaller set, 24. When I got that one, I did regret not getting bigger set, because it's just very limiting palette. As for you can't really mix that much like you can in watercolors. So with this one, I was very limited, and I thought, oh, I wish I had a bit bigger set. But then I got Faber-Castell and I was fine. So it really depends what you already have and what is your goal. So guys, this is my kind of little show and tell what I have in terms of pastels. And please let me know if you have any questions. We can do live little tests if you want one day on different papers, different pencils. It will be quite tedious. Not sure if anyone wants to watch that. But I think when I was starting out, I was looking for this type of videos. So if it helps anybody, that's amazing. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. And I want to share anything I can that could help anyone else. Yep. So let me know in the comments what sort of video about pastels would you like to see. If you don't want to see them in action, obviously I'm going to do some drawing, painting, whatever. People say with pastels you do painting. I'm kind of a little bit conflicted with that because they remind me of pencils, which is more like drawing. So I'm not sure. I did a little bit of search with that one, and some people were very adamant that it's painting. Some people were very adamant, no, it's drawing. And I'm like in the middle and always indecisive. So forgive me about that. I don't know. Short. Long story short. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.